Okay, ladies, I want to stop by for a minute and talk to you about something real quick before I go soak in some Epsom salt. Today, I climbed Stone Mountain. I climbed Stone Mountain with some really good friends. Miss Pauline Bullard, it was her idea for us to get together, every Saturday, 9 o'clock, climb the mountain. I've lived here in Georgia for 15 years and I've never climbed the mountain, so I really did not know what to expect. I know a lot of people have climbed it, but I had never climbed it before. So anyway, woke up today, and of course, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Trying to prevent me from going there and climbing the mountain. Nevertheless, 40 minutes late, I make it there. My husband ended up driving me, and we make it there, and we, get ready to climb this mountain. When I thought about climbing the mountain had a lot to do with me turning my health around, me doing something I'd never done before. I really didn't think that I would learn a life lesson on the mountain, and pretty much from the moment I stepped on the mountain, there were several lessons that were learned on the mountain. There was a group there. There was a pretty large group there that was out for a charity for people who have been in the military who have committed suicide. And, there's been a lot of suicides committed for folks being in the military. And they were crawling, there were people that were handicapped that were crawling up the mountains on their hands and their knees. And then there were also people who were just participating in this event, and they were also crawling up the mountain, and they were crawling up the mountain back and forth until the people that were handicapped could get all the way up the mountain. And then the other thing you had people there that were carrying what they call their burden. So there were guys there that were carrying logs or some whatever, or a big rock or whatever it was that they would call their burden. And a quarter up the mountain, I was ready to quit. I was ready to be done with it. It was too hard. I was having a hard time breathing. One of the things that has prevented me, from working out and as much as I used to is, various medical issues, and everybody does not know to the extent of, my medical issues. But, I can tell you at one point I was taking 10 pills a day for diabetes, high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, asthma, GERD, anything you can think of, or name, I had it. And, the pain sometimes is just really unbearable. And it's not something I talk about because I spend the majority of the day just trying to get through the pain. And, working out or climbing a mountain or something like that, just was not going to happen because of it. But, today, decided that, I can't continue to live like this, and I needed to do something, and I needed to do something big to break through it. And walking up this mountain and seeing these people who were in much worse condition than I am. I mean, people who don't have their lower bodies to help them like I have my lower body. My lower body may be in a lot of pain, but I still have it. And then also people carrying these big logs of, it's what they call their burden. And it made me think about Jesus carrying that cross, around. And I thought about, a good friend of mine who told me, when I was complaining about a fast one day, a Daniel fast, 3 days in, I was about to pass out, having headaches, and she said to me, Natasha, imagine the suffering, imagine the suffering of Jesus, and and what he had to go through on that cross for us, and those guys climbing and crawling up the mountain, as well as those guys that were carrying their burden, which was representative of a cross to me, helped me to understand that I needed to get up the mountain, and that was about a quarter of the way through. But then, life kicks in. So about, right before half the way I'm up there, I can't breathe again, and it's too hard. And then that's when my friend Trina kicked in and asked me, was I a winner? Are you a winner? And she said, are you a winner? And, she said it in such a way that, probably only her and I understood what she meant, but I did. It really propelled me to make it up that mountain, because she reminded me of something that about myself, and that I am a winner, and I do make success come my way. And then, through the rest of the time up the mountain, I had Nina, whispering in my ear, I can do all things through Christ, that who strengthens me. I can do all things through Christ. And so, going up the steep part of the mountain, going up, the top part of the mountain, which was the roughest part, it was just that encouragement there. Pauline was there. Pauline was literally pulling me up the mountain one time, literally pulling me up the mountain at times, and holding me up and make sure I didn't fall. And then I had my husband who was there, and Pauline was on one side, and and he was on the other side, making sure that I made it up up that mountain, and I didn't quit. And it also made me think of, and I told them, the story where Jesus was preaching, at a temple, and there were people everywhere, and there was a man who was really in need of healing. He had various diseases, and how his friends walked, basically for 2 cities. They carried him because he couldn't walk, for 2 cities. And then when they got there, they couldn't get to Jesus because there was too many people around. And so what they did is they climbed on the roof, and they lowered their friend down in front of Jesus. And that just reminded me of the kind of friends that I have in my life. And I'm so, so thankful. So my lesson on the mountain today was how blessed I am, to have a wonderful husband that, will come and support me through all things, and how I have wonderful friends who are going to make sure that I get up that mountain, and it wasn't the intent today for it to be about me, or me specifically getting up that mountain. But I think that everyone understood, with my struggle and trying to make it up the mountain, that it was important. And I just really appreciate having friends like that in my life. And I am just thankful that I serve a God who cares about the things that I care about, and cared about me getting up that mountain as well. And, I know some of you guys viewing this may climb the mountain all the time, and that's great. And it may not be a big deal for you, but it was a very, very big deal for me to make it up that mountain today, and to remind myself that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and that I am, a winner, and that I don't have to do everything by myself, because I have people around me that support me. And the biggest lesson is that there's always somebody that's worse off than you. So get up off your butt and do what you need to do. It needs to be done. And even if you have to crawl to get to where you need to get to, crawl. So those were my lessons from the mountain today. Thank you guys for listening. I wanted to put this up on the site because, as we embark, on our vision boards, and, committing to the goals that we set, there's going to be some times that you experience like what I experienced today. And I know I'm going to have many more this year, but, we cannot quit. We need to continue to keep moving forward, and knowing that we're moving forward with a God who loves us, and who wants to give us exceedingly abundantly more than what we can ask and think of. So thank you guys for listening. Pull out your vision boards. Make sure that you guys are doing what you are supposed to be doing, and call on a friend if you need help. Love you guys. Thank you guys for listening to me. I made it up the mountain. I'm a winner, Trina.